1803, the Louisiana Purchase was vital to the expansion of the United States. It also was the year Isaac Van Meter made the first settlement in DeSoto, Missouri. The town had a modest growth until the late 1870s when the St. Louis and Iron Mountain Railroad built a roundhouse and a repair shops, starting a boom in the city's growth, expanding to its current mile-long Main Street. The city of DeSoto has several noteworthy events that include: in 1857, the town leaders recognized the need for and constructed our first post office. Then, in 1914, a new post office was built that now serves as our city hall and police department. During the St. Louis 1904 World's Fair, DeSoto supplied artesian water from our numerous natural springs because of the belief it had healing properties. In the 1930s, DeSoto was tagged as the gateway to the Ozarks. In 1939, Mr. Robert Wadlow, the world's tallest man, visited Gilman's department store, who sold shoes made by the local International Shoe Company. The International Shoe Company made his shoes size 37 AA for free for his also world's largest feet. In 1953, the National Municipal League, in conjunction with Look magazine, named DeSoto one of 11 All-American cities, based on outstanding progress achieved in community betterment as a result of citizen actions. In 1960, Eleanor Roosevelt was guest of honor at a breakfast sponsored by the local Democratic Party, supporting the re-election campaign of Congressman A.S.J. Carnahan, father of Mel, and grandfather of Russ. In 1982, a marker was placed on the coordinates of the United States Center of Population determined by the 1980 census. In 2003, DeSoto celebrated our Bicentennial with numerous events and included a variety show, a formal dinner, a rail cruise, golf tournament, and more. The local schools were tasked with creating 4 by 8 foot murals depicting the town's history. A total of 29 were made and placed on the fence lining the mile-long street. The oldest still existing business in DeSoto is the railroad. The St. Louis and Iron Mountain Railroad became the Missouri Pacific in 1919 and then the Union Pacific in 1985. DeSoto has a rich history of businesses. Many locally owned businesses are still operating today. Some of these businesses are the Arlington Hotel, opened in the early 1860s. B.F. Mann Plumbing was established in 1868. The Collins Theater, now the Melba Theater, opened in 1947. Dietrich's Mother's Head Funeral Home, Mother's Head, was established in 1929 and Dietrich's in 1930. Dietrich's purchased Mother's Head in 1972. Fouth Appliance opened in 1947. Fojo Studio opened in 1904. You may remember sending your film to be developed. Hobson Lumber Company opened in 1880. Mann Funeral Home was established in 1914. Mueller Electric opened in 1927. Purcell Tire was established in 1964, and many more. Some of our long-running businesses that are no longer operating are Duffner's Ice Cream, established in 1911, Hamel & Rowe Hardware, established in 1884, and Peter's Shoe Company, established in 1908, then merged, forming the International Shoe Company in 1924. The first public school system was established in 1870. By 1882, First Central School was built. By 1897, the Central School building could no longer accommodate the growing number of students, so the district built 3 ward schools: the East Ward School, the North Ward School, and the South Ward School. Also built was the Langston School due to segregation. Currently, the DeSoto School District has 2 elementary schools, Athena and Vineland, and a junior high and a senior high. St. Rose of Lima Catholic School was opened in 1891 and is still educating today. DeSoto has churches still worshiping today that go back to the 1800s. Some of the older churches include the First Baptist Church, founded in 1867. First United Methodist Church, founded in 1844. Hope United Church of Christ, founded in 1947. Redeemer Lutheran Church, founded in 1925. St. Andrew's Methodist Church, founded in 1953. St. Rose of Lima Catholic Church, founded in 1857. And Trinity Episcopal Church, founded in 1871. A few of our well-known residents are Thomas Fletcher, Missouri's first native-born governor, served as governor from 1895 to 1869. As a lawyer and a railway land agent, he was instrumental in bringing the railroad to DeSoto. Jeremiah J. Nixon was born in DeSoto. He served as Missouri's Attorney General from 1993 to 2009. He was elected governor in 2009 and served until 2017. Mel Bay was a master guitar teacher. He grew up in DeSoto. He was the publisher of a well-known series of guitar instruction books. His family operated Bay's Market in DeSoto for many years. Kathleen Goff was crowned Miss Missouri in 1968 and represented the state of Missouri in the 1969 Miss America pageant. Frank Wilcox, who was an American actor, was born in DeSoto. The son of a railroad worker and a law clerk, he appeared in numerous films, television series, and Broadway plays. The town of DeSoto is rich in architectural history. Styles ranging from the classic Queen Anne to the more unique Steamboat Gothic can be found scattered throughout the town. A few examples are Alta Vista, the home of Lewis Rankin, one of our founding fathers. Built around 1858, was located on 2nd Street. The grounds were enclosed by a majestic stone wall and iron gate. The house became a sanitarium and later the commercial college. The house no longer exists, but the rock wall and iron gate still remain. Pearl Cottage, located at 607 Miller Street, is one of the oldest homes still standing. The original 3-room structure was built in 1832 and purchased with British gold. Additions were made around 1870. It was used for some time as the Episcopal parsonage. The Carte House, located at 310 Boyd Street, was built between 1897 and 1900. It is reported that this house was the first in town to be wired for electricity and the first to be built with an indoor bathroom. The Steamboat House, this house at 702 South 5th Street, known as the Steamboat House, is believed to have been built during the Civil War. The home is described as Steamboat Gothic due to the resemblance to the Mississippi River vessels. Hobby House, also known as Olivia Hospital, located on South Main Street, the original 4-room structure was built in 1898 on the back lot, but in 1912 it was moved to the front of the lot and extensive additions were made. In 1926, it became a 25-bed hospital named after Olivia Hobby, the first registered nurse in Jefferson County. The building has been turned into apartments. All-Electric House, the first all-electric home in DeSoto, was built by Theodore Slim Miller in 1957 at 715 North 6th Street. A short distance from DeSoto is the town of Victoria. Victoria was founded in 1802 by Thomas Beavis. The St. Louis and Iron Mountain Railroad was extended through Victoria in 1858. Along with the railroad came opportunity and growth for the town. Farmers brought their wagons to the trains at dawn to ship their produce and dairy products. Victoria was known for having the best produce shipping points in the county in the late 1800s. Stagecoaches made 4 trips a day between Victoria and Hillsborough, carrying lawyers, judges, and prisoners to the Hillsborough courthouse. On February 5, 1898, a cow derailed the northbound Texas Special on the Iron Mountain Road, resulting in the death of the engineer and the fireman and injuries to several passengers. At one time, Victoria also consisted of the Victoria House Hotel that prospered, serving many meals and boarding to train passengers, a 2-room schoolhouse, one of the busiest post offices in the county, 2 grocery stores, the Pinsons and the Goads, and the Victoria Church that was organized on January 17, 1914. Outside of town is the Victoria Cemetery, which was dedicated to Victoria residents during the Civil War. The Galt House is the oldest house in Victoria. Most towns have stories and folklore that is passed down to the next generation. One of Victoria's best known is the tale of Queen Beavers. According to an article published in the Kansas City Star on January 12, 1908, Jefferson County was a stronghold for witches, particularly in the town of Victoria, and starting with its first family to settle there. Founder Thomas Beavis' wife, Prudence, was known for whatever reason as Queen Beavers. She was thought to be a witch and blamed for most of the misfortunes in the town. One of the most told stories, told by victim Aaron Cook, was that she turned him into a horse and rode him to a ball across the river from Morris Mills, where she hitched him to a plum bush and left him there all night. Progress sealed the fate of the small community of Victoria. Most of its residents now are retired, but still remember how it used to be. Founded in 1991, the DeSoto Historical Society was established to preserve DeSoto history and serve as a storehouse of knowledge about our community's rich history. We have a proud heritage to share. Many of our old buildings and landmarks are historically significant. As the society grew, members organized and participated in community fairs, parades, and events. The society meets at 7 p.m. on the third Tuesday of each month at our museum. Prior to the business meeting, a program may be presented. As always, the public is welcome. Past and present residents started donating local artifacts and pictures telling the story of DeSoto for us to preserve. As the donations began to increase, we realized that we needed to have a place to store and display the articles. We opened our first museum in the mid-1990s in what was a bakery located on Main Street. We opened our current location in August of 2012 as part of the DeSoto Community Center located at 400 Boyd Street. The museum has 2 floors with approximately 2,400 square feet. The main room on the first floor has sections dedicated to the railroad and businesses. The first floor also has 2 separate rooms. One room is the military room. Along with military artifacts and uniforms, there is a wall with photographs of DeSoto military veterans, past and present. The second room is a schoolroom. This room is filled with local school memorabilia, including DeSoto High School class photographs dating from 1906 to 1963. Our second floor is one 890 square foot display room, a research room, and a storage room. Located in the display room is more businesses, a local church display, a doctor's office, a Civil War display, a homestead, and 1953 Sesquicentennial and 1957 Triad celebration display. This was just a brief glimpse of what DeSoto has to offer. Come visit our town and museum soon. Thank you.